morning, my name is Jason.
Good morning, everybody, and I'm Steve.
We are the Highwaymen, and today we are talking about being British. I've changed it from being English to being British. I thought it was a little bit more inclusive.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
But before we do, we want to say thank you to our 23 subscribers.
Oh, 23.
We've jumped. We were 10 last time the last day we recorded, we were 10 and we're now 23, 2 weeks later. So
that's good.
Thank you everyone for subscribing and liking. And excuse me. And hopefully you will continue to subscribe and like and give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you like us. You don't have to decide now. You can wait till the end and decide if you want to subscribe, but we hope you'll stick around and we hope that you will. So I'm going to kick off because this one was mine. And I mentioned it briefly at the end of the last one, is queuing.
Queuing.
Queuing is, I don't think until you come to England, I don't think until you speak, for us being British, I'm going to keep saying British and English, for us being British or English, queuing is very much part of our culture, massively.
It's almost an institution, isn't it, really?
Well, I've got a friend who lives here, he's been here 20 odd years now, and he came from Zimbabwe, and he said, when he came to England, he could not believe the queuing and how orderly people were, how it's just kind of ingrained into us. He said it's one of the best things about being in England, he said, is the fact that everything is orderly. And it's true because, we start at school, don't we? You queue for you go to assembly and you would queue.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
Get your dinner and you queue. And so instantly, if we see a queue, we just join it for the hell of it, really, don't we?
We do. It doesn't matter what's at the end of it. There's a queue. Let's join in.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's it's something we take very seriously as well. So if somebody pushed in the queue, I mean, if someone pushed in front of you, what do you say? You literally turn around and say, "Hey, the queue's back there, mate." Just I mean, it is the worst thing.
Jay, they may as well have murdered a kitten.
Yeah,
they may as well have murdered a kitten.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In fact, that's probably slightly less heinous.
Probably.
You don't do that. You just do not do that, do you? And what about when? So if you're with your wife or with your mate or something like that, and you've said, right, you go and join the queue, and I'll join up with you, and then you go and join with your mate. It's all legitimate. It's about how bad do you feel? How guilty do you feel about doing that?
If you cut in because your mate saved you a place, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You do. You feel guilty, but also, as a person behind the person that's just sort of let their mate in, it's acceptable, but it still pisses you off. You're kind of like, I've got to sit here and let that. I was going to use a C word then. I don't usually use the C word.
Carrot.
And that idiot, that imbecile in front, I've had to let them in because it's I like the hat, mate. Yeah, I like it that.
The sun's actually in my eyes, so it's a bit.
So you kind of it's the rule that's allowed, but it's tolerated. I think is what I would say with letting people in the queue.
That's a perfect summary of that. Tolerated. You would know.
Go on.
You can almost imagine in your head the whispers that are going on 2 or 3 behind you. Yeah, who the hell do you think that? But they won't say anything. They won't, because they know the unwritten rule. But as you say, tolerated but frowned upon.
Frowned upon. But if you literally just walk into the queue from nowhere and try and push in, you can expect a riot because you can't do that in England, in Britain.
It's not done
in the queue. Doesn't fly, does it?
No, it doesn't. So that's a bit of a lesson, really, to anybody that's just come into the country and sees it going on. And maybe we should learn to be a little bit more tolerant, Jay, or maybe not. Maybe that's why the queuing system works. So as far as some people who don't know about this are concerned, they think, well, okay, all you do, this is awesome. I just push my way to the front, and it's quite acceptable in certain cultures.
This is the thing, and this is the thing that when I'm abroad, I have to try and remind myself. I remember years ago, we went to Disneyland with the kids. My kids were really young then, In fact, Teresa was a baby and Paige would have been 3. and kind of queuing to get your photo with the characters, and then there'd be people that would just literally dive in front. Everybody out of the way for my child to have its photo, you know. And there's all the British people there, sort of queuing like orderly, and then like these foreigners would come in and like not be like, what's going on? But you have to be in another country, and it was that serious. And you've got grown adults pushing like toddlers out the way because their child is, of course, everybody's child is the most important one in the world, aren't they? Their child is the most important thing in the world, pushing them out the way just to get their child. So queuing, let me tick that one off my little list.
Yeah,
covered that one. Right, mate.
It is the
next on the agenda? What's the next thing? Can you think of one?
Breakfast, British breakfast.
And
English or Scottish all-day breakfast. Nobody, I mean, you've travelled as of a lot of people, and you rock up to European hotels, and what are you met with? A couple of slices of cold meat, bit of cheese, and some bread.
Yeah.
No, not us. We will have eggs in whatever variety you can think of. Thank you. We'll have poached, fried, boiled, scrambled. In fact, we'll have them all together, as I quite often do. Absolutely. If I'm staying at a Premier Inn or a Travelodge, something like that. And then, of course, you've got all the bit. So you've got to have sausage. You've got to have bacon. Even if you're a vegetarian, you've got to have stuff that looks like sausages and looks like bacon.
Absolutely.
And then if you're a real diehard, we're going to chuck in some black pudding. One of my, and I've got to say, I do absolutely love a bit of haggis for breakfast. I do. Oh, mate, it's beautiful. And then, of course, baked beans, tomatoes, hash browns, fried bread. Yeah. Fried bread. Where else in the world do you get fried bread?
You're going to have to explain the hash brown, not the hash brown, sorry. You're going to have to explain the black pudding and the haggis to people from different countries now. Oh,
okay. Well, that'll be my absolute pleasure. So when I say it, it sounds absolutely vile. So anyway, black pudding is made up with all the congealed blood and fat that's been left over from a pig when it's been slaughtered. It's all sort of boiled up. Yeah, absolutely. It's boiled up together and then set to go solid, and you cut a little slice of it. Haggis is all the mashed up bits and pieces of stuff that you can't use in an animal, so all its intestines and stuff like that, and it's wrapped up inside a sheep's stomach, which is beautiful, really.
Can I just say that I only had black pudding for the first time last year?
Really? What did you think?
I'm not a fan. It wasn't how I expected, because it is more like pudding, isn't it? It's got like a cakey kind of consistency, which I was expecting it to be more, because they call it a blood sausage, don't they, as well?
They do.
Sausage shaped. And I expect it to be more like a sausage, but it's actually more like a cake. I'm not a fan. I can eat it. It's not as horrendous as it sounds, but not a big fan. But yeah, a full English. I mean, the Americans have very similar, but they have crispy bacon, whereas we have kind of like flimsy bacon, and they have, I think they tend to have like smaller sausages, more like skinny sausages, where we like a big
lightweight, Jay. Lightweight. No. Big full-on fat, like a baby's arm holding an orange sausage. Huge sausage.
I'm sure the American ladies will come to England and appreciate a big fat English sausage. Some of the gentlemen as well. Some of the gentlemen as well, I'm sure.
Jay, I know we're going off piece here a little bit, but I have got to tell you this story. I still smile about it now. So, as you know, I lived in France for several years, and I had this really good friend over there. And his name was Frank or Frank. He was from the Netherlands, okay, and he spoke French and he spoke English, but everything with a tiny little twist, you know. He got 95% of it right, but the 5% he got wrong were quite often real howlers. And we were working together on a building project, and it was really hot day, and the sweat. He was a big guy, and he was a typical, as you would imagine, a Viking to look. Quite honestly, he had blonde hair, blue eyes, huge guy he was, but he was the most gentle, lovely soul. and his girlfriend lived in Peru. His girlfriend at the time lived in Peru, and her name is Elizabeth, or Lisbeth, as he would say, and we're working away, and he suddenly stopped working. He said, "You know, Steve," he said, "I think the next time that Elizabeth come, I ask her to marry me." And I said, "Oh, mate, that's absolutely lovely," you know, because she would come over probably once every 4 or 5 months, something like that, and he would go over there the next time around. So I said, "Well, that's brilliant, mate. You know, have you thought how you're going to propose?" I swear to God, this is the honest truth. He goes, "Yes, I think about this." He said, "And I think I'd take her up the hill with a good sausage."
What did he mean? Oh.
When I stopped laughing, I said, "What on earth? Explain." He said, "In Peru, the sausage is no good." So over here, I buy us a nice sausage, make the picnic, and go up the mountain.
Oh, you telling them take me up the hill with a nice sausage means something completely different in England. Yeah.
It clearly worked. She married him, and they went on to have about 5 kids.
Oh,
so there you go. Top tip.
There you go.
Great proposal.
Woo woman with a big sausage. There you go. Fantastic, mate. That one. Well, let's move on then to language. Now,
okay, good. Well, that fed in. It was like we'd rehearsed that.
Absolutely, yeah, brilliant. I've got to stop saying absolutely. I edited the last one. I realised I say absolutely a lot, and I'm trying to stop it now. I've said it 3 times already. So yes, so language. I mean, I don't think. I think it's so hard for foreigners who learn English, thinking they can come here and speak it, to be met with the way we use language. The way we use, I mean, sarcasm. Now, here's a classic one. I was looking at other people. There was a Romanian guy, lived here 6 years, very good English, and he said, and it never occurred to me until I've heard him say it, and you'll laugh at this when you hear it. He said, "I can't understand the phrase 'well done.'" He said, "I do not understand what people mean when they say 'well done' to me." And I thought about it. And so here's an example. Now, we haven't rehearsed this. So, Steve, I come home, I bring you up, and I say, "Steve, I've just won the lottery." What do you say to me?
Oh, well done.
Well done, absolutely. I ring you up, say, "Steve, I've just took out your brand new car and crashed it into a tree." What do you say to me?
Oh, well done.
Exactly. And he said, I have no, when someone tells me well done, I have no clue what they mean. I have no clue if they're pleased for me or if I'm being told off. And I tried to think of more, but there's so many different sort of idiosyncrasies with language, and even things like when you say to somebody, "Give me a bell," somebody physically giving me a little bell. Give me a bell. What does it mean, Steve?
That's true. Do I know what it means?
Yeah, explain.
Yeah, give you a ring, give you a call.
Give me a ring. Give me a call. So that's what it means. And there's loads of things. And then we have things like the Cockney rhyming slang that we drop in. That's become part
of love this.
You know, I tell you what, I can't believe it. I came out this morning and someone's half-inched my bike. Steve knows exactly what that means. They've half-inched my bike. It means pinched. Half-inched rhymes with pinched. It's Cockney rhyming slang. Now, we don't really know Cockney rhyming slang, but there's elements of it that's kind of slipped into language.
Yeah? Daily language, that's right.
And another classic one I thought of is using the word nick. Now, the nick is slang for a police station. So you can go down the nick, but also if you have something stolen, you have it nicked. You have it taken, you have something stolen, you have it nicked.
That's true, isn't it?
You go down the nick, you have it nicked. But also, if a policeman pulls you over in your car and gives you a speeding ticket, you've been nicked as well. So you've got a word.
And also, you can have a nick out of a piece of wood, can't you? So if you take a little chunk out, then you've nicked the word.
But again, nick is not a word that you'd probably learn if you were learning our language. It's something you have to pick up and understand where it fits and when it fits. And then the other one is a classic slang word that we use is bollocks. So
is it past 9 o'clock?
Yeah,
are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, we can say bollocks. We can say a lot of things. Okay. So bollocks. So if I don't like something, it's a load of bollocks. If something's brilliant and I really like it, it's the dog bollocks. The dog's bollocks.
Yeah, how does that work?
If Steve's talking a load of rubbish, I can say you're talking a load of bollocks. In fact, our title is Two Blokes Talking Bollocks, which means we're talking rubbish. But again, depending, and again, bollocks is a slang word. And again, using the way we use it, you don't just say something's the dog's bollocks, you say it's the dog's.
Charlie said one the other day to me, it's sick. And that apparently means it's really good. How does that work?
That's been in lingo about 20 years. If you've not picked that one up yet, mate, you're just not up to. Well, you don't watch a lot of telly, do you?
Not so much.
I'm going to move straight on to accents.
Accents, oh yes. So it's incredible. We're a tiny country, in all fairness, but the accents range from a fair old bloody way down south, down the bottom there, or down in Devon and Cornwall. They talk a bit like that, don't they?
But even I've got a mate from Bristol who's watching this. He's going to be howling at your accent then. But and we were talking a few episodes ago, the fact that we live we grew up 10 minutes apart. You were in a slightly better place than I was, and how different our accents were. But if you think from Leicester, which is the centre of England, 45 minutes west, you're in Birmingham, which are very much like
Birmingham.
Go on.
Birmingham. Yeah, do you know what? It's what accents. They're the loveliest people in the world, I've got to tell you. But I don't know what it is. There's a couple of accents that as soon as I hear it, I just think, I just can't take you seriously. You know what? And a gorgeous young lady, I mean, stunning. She turns around and talks like this, and you just think to yourself, well, that ain't right. That just should not be coming out of your beautiful mouth.
But it's only 45 minutes away. But you go 45 minutes south, and you've got Northamptonshire, which has got a very distinctive twang. Can you do that one?
I don't think I can. But do you know why that is? A great deal of people in Northampton came down from Scotland, down to the steelworks, and a lot of Glaswegians all migrated down. And literally the town was almost built around the Scottish migration.
So it's a mix up of that, because it's 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's a very definitive border almost, where the accent changes massively. I mean, Nottingham speak very similar to the way I speak, and that's sort of 45 minutes north. But then you go another 45 minutes walk, and you're into Sheffield. I met a lovely guy from Sheffield when we were on holiday last. Couldn't understand a word he said. I really struggled with it. It was and his wife was from a bit further north than him. She was from, I think, Bingley, I think it was. And her fine. She had a very broad northern accent. In fact, it was her accent. I was walking through, and she had a really, really strong northern accent. And I've not heard many British people while I've been away, and I honed in on her because I thought, I really liked her accent, and we started to chat. But lovely couple, but I struggled with his voice, and again, Scottish people, depending on how far north you get, they become far more difficult to understand. And it's quite interesting, the Scottish friends I've got on Facebook, some of them spell the way they talk.
Yeah.
Because they have certain words that we don't use. And you can almost read the accent as they're typing, which I find quite interesting.
I love the Irish accent. Yeah, I've got to tell you. Yeah, I really do.
Well, food, actually, generally food on here. I think we should do a thing on food. Because our food, not only do we have the most phenomenal names for our food, to confuse people, but our food is it's very brown, isn't it? You're going to have to explain.
What is proper British food? All right, a Sunday roast. And probably after an English fry up breakfast, a Sunday roast probably epitomises it then, doesn't it?
And it's not the same if you have it on another day, is it?
We can't have it on another day, can you? That's against the law. I am pretty sure if you dig into the statute book, somewhere along the line, it would be illegal to have a Sunday dinner any other day than Sunday.
Absolutely.
I'm sure of it.
There you go.
So meats wise, well, that's pretty free for all, isn't it?
Well, let's go back to the Yorkshire pudding. So just to explain, the Yorkshire pudding is it's like a little
It is a pudding.
It's like a little cake. There's no sugar in it, is there? There's no sugar. It's like a little cake with no sugar.
Flour and water, basically.
With your, with chicken and potatoes and peas and carrots, and you put gravy on it, and that's a Yorkshire pudding. But the other one, and I'm sure
you don't have to have gravy.
You don't have it with gravy. Did you ever have it with sugar?
Well, I was just about to say, did you ever have it with jam?
No, we used to have it as like a dessert sometimes. If you had leftover ones from Sunday lunch on a Monday, you'd dip them in sugar, and then you would have it as like a dessert.
Nice, maybe a bit donutty, I suppose.
Yeah,
really,
a bit donutty, yeah. But the other thing,
oh, lovely.
and I'm sure that any of our foreign visitors will not be interested in this until I explain what it is. Would you be interested in order off the menu, toad in the hole?
Oh, mate, I love toad in the hole.
Now,
Love it.
you wouldn't order it though, would you? You know, if you saw toad in the hole, there's absolutely no way will I be buying toad in the hole. So toad in the hole, why is it called that? We should have Googled this before we started. If anyone can Google it for me and put it in the comments, let me know. Toad in the hole is a sausage in a Yorkshire pudding, basically.
Now you say it out loud, it sounds ridiculous.
Well, the other thing, would you ever order spotted dick?
Well, actually, yes. No, I wouldn't. No.
No, America. Honestly, you watch these Americans who come on. I like watching them when they come to England, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's a double-decker bus," you know. But the other thing is the food, and they go and they're like, "I'm not ordering spotted dick." I'm not ordering spotted dick. In fact, there's a funny one. Talk about language as well. So when I was 21, I went to America and I wanted a bum bag. Yeah, so the bum bag being what Americans call a fanny pack.
Of course.
So I was going in this queue, and I'm only young, I'm only in my 20s, and there's two girls behind there. Now, fanny in English is your front bottom, a lady's front bottom, just to be polite there. And in America, fanny is your rear bottom, your derriere. So, and I was two girls there, and I was getting so wound up having to say the word fanny to them that I was really, really shit. I'm going in the queue. Everybody's saying it. Everybody's saying it. I can say it. I can say it. I can say it. And I suddenly turned around. I got to the front. I said, "Can I have a fanny pack, please?" And she was English. Well, I died because she'd had it all day long. She didn't really give a shit. But yeah. So many Americans, if you come to England and you see a girl with a nice bottom, don't tell her she's got a nice fanny because you will end up getting a slap.
Well, we don't have a national dish, do we? So, well, we do. It's a curry, but that's only because we bloody stole that.
Well, here's a little bit of interesting information for you. The chicken tikka masala, which is one of the most popular curries that you can order in England, isn't actually made in India. It's not an Indian dish. It was actually specifically designed with a less spicier palate in mind. So it was designed for the English. It was designed in Bradford, I believe, by an Indian guy for the English market, and it's one of the most top-selling curries that you can buy. So there you go.
What's your favourite curry, Jay? So what's your go-to curry if you're going to have a takeaway?
Chicken jalfrezi.
Jalfrezi.
I like the spicy hotness. What about yourself?
I'm a real wuss bucket. I really am. So if it's available, a masala. Well, no, not even a masala. I can't remember what it's called now. But it's got bananas in it and cherries in it and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, honestly, it's absolutely lovely. It might be a pasana. I'm not sure what it's called, but Pam knows and she orders it for me. Yeah, I love all the poppadoms and the pickles and
I like that. And I do like that.
Yeah, the onion bhajis and the little samosas and all that. Love all that stuff. Love all that.
Pickled onion monster munch.
Banging. Could live on that.
That's a good British food, that is.
Yeah.
It's like explain. It's like a crisp or a potato chip is what you would call it, but it's not. It's like a corn kind of monster's claw, isn't it? Bumping into people. So if someone bumps into, so if you're standing somewhere and someone bumps into you, you're the person being bumped into, you still turn around and say sorry. Like, I'm sorry, I was in your way.
It all comes down to the queuing thing as well, doesn't it? It's our mindsets.
Yeah.
It's our mindsets. Now, does that mean that we feel inferior to other people and we should allow them to go first?
No. And again, it boils down to politeness. You know, saying please, saying thank you. I mean, I'm really old school in the way I was brought up, and I've been the same with my children. You know, if I come into your house, for example, I would never sit down until you invite me to sit down. Just kind of the basic kind of just being polite to people. Again, I notice a lot of cultures. I'm going to target Americans again. Sorry, guys, and I'm sure not everyone's the same. But when you're on holiday and people order a drink, I very much, can I have such and such, please? So there's always a please at the end of it. There's also thank you. Whereas I notice again with a lot of the Americans, they'll just say, "I'll have a beer." You know, and there's no.
Right.
And I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying that's the way they're brought up. Whereas within England, you are always told to put please on the end of it. And in fact, as a kid, you know, if you say to your parents, you know, can I have a glass of water? They would turn around to you and say, can I have a glass of water? What? You know.
Yeah, that's right.
You won't get it until you say please. So it's very much ingrained in us to say the please and say the thank you, I think.
Yeah, you're quite right. Yeah.
Manners maketh the man, as they say.
You know, it's quite true, and it is a nice way to be, Jay. In all honesty, you know, and it's. No, I think it's lovely. Just spreading a little bit of.
But again, I sometimes say thank you. I notice I say thank you too much. Oh, thank you, you know, and people look at you like, why do you keep saying thank you? You know, someone gives you something. You know, like when again, if I'm on holiday and they're setting the table and they put the fork down, I go thank you, knife, thank you, spoon, and you know what I mean? It's just like. It's just part of being brought up that way. You know.
Do you know what I do? I'm just going to go back to your car thing. So you know when you're letting people out in the traffic, do you not find though that depends on what kind of a day you're having? So if someone's let you out, and you then tend to let other people out. Yeah. But if you're sat and you've got eye contact with somebody and they either completely blank you, then they know that you're there, but they blank you. Just think you absolutely, and then you don't let the next person out yourself.
I think so, if I'm in a rush, I possibly wouldn't if I was really rushing. But the thing that winds me up is when you do let somebody out and then they don't even acknowledge it. That really.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I'll just let you out and you can't even put your hand up or flash your indicators or something to say thank you. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
And then you get out of the car at the end of the day.
Okay, yeah, and then you're not. Then I'm not letting any wankers through now. That bastard's pissed me off for the day. Bastards! Bastards!
And then you get straight on Amazon and see if there's any laser guns you can get to put on the dashboard of your car.
Them. The bastards! The bastards!
What do you think we feel though on such a tiny island? We live on a tiny little island, and let's be brutally honest. So we now have a look at the might of some of the other empires that are around us, but we still insist when we go abroad, it's up to you to learn English. And when we're gonna, it's why aren't you providing us with English food? Why aren't you doing this? And we walk around as if we still own places.
That's an embarrassing thing. And I've got an embarrassing story. We're going to run out of time on this call, so I'm going to cancel it and start the next one, and then I'm going to tell you a very, very, very embarrassing story. Okay. Not my embarrassing. Well, I was embarrassed. I wanted the ground to swallow me up, but I'll tell you. Right.